Greetings to you and welcome to this episode of Grace Podcast. I'm Timothy Muse. I'll be your host as we spend this time together today. It's a joy to be with you. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for making this podcast a part of your journey. I want to thank you for being on the journey, for having the courage to step out, to seek, to grow, to try, to examine yourself. It's such a beautiful and wonderful thing. To have that courage, to be willing to look inside and say, not everything is great. There are things that need to be addressed, and be willing to address them. That is truly, truly a beautiful thing. Good for you for being here. Good for you for having that courage. Good for you for taking that moment. I'm so pleased to be able to walk with you in it. If this podcast is helpful, please share it out there. Put it out there on your social media feeds. I post on LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and Facebook. If you follow me or the life coaching on any one of those feeds, you're going to see these episodes. If you're on one of the listening platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music, follow us, give us a rating and review. Every positive rating and review tells the platform people are listening, and you'll get a new episode when they come out. You'll get a notification of a new episode when they come out. And if you want to reach out to me directly, as always, GraceLifeCoaching.com is the website. I would love to hear from you. GraceLifeCoaching.com. We've been in this series now about what the end of summer can teach us as we grow. We've been spending these episodes looking at lessons hidden in the changing seasons. We've talked about finishing well. We've talked about noticing growth. We've talked about harvesting the lessons a season gives us. We've talked about letting go, not rushing what comes next, and paying attention when the light begins to change. Today, I want to talk about something that may be one of the most difficult lessons of all. You can't store summer. You can take pictures of it. You can tell stories of it. You can save souvenirs from a vacation. You can freeze vegetables from your garden. You can remember a sunset. You can keep photographs of people who sat around the table, but you cannot actually keep the day. You cannot put August in a box and take it out in February. You cannot make a perfect summer evening last forever. Eventually the sun sets, the vacations end, the children go back to school, the temperature changes, the season moves on, and life does too. That reality can make us sad, but it can also teach us something incredibly important. The fact that something won't last forever doesn't make it less valuable. Sometimes its temporary nature is exactly what makes it precious. So today we're going to talk about presence, about enjoying what is here while it is here, about letting good moments be good moments without demanding that they become permanent, and about learning to say, this won't last forever, so I want to be here now. Human beings naturally hold on to things. When something is good, we want more of it. When a wonderful vacation ends, we say, I wish we could stay another week. When the children are little and someone tells us, enjoy it, it goes fast. Then suddenly they're teenagers, then adults. Then they have lives of their own. We look at a photograph and wonder where the years went. We find a job we enjoy and hope nothing changes. We discover a friendship that matters and want it to stay exactly the same. We experience a moment when everything seems right and quietly wish, could life just stay like this? But it can't. And that's not pessimism, that's reality. Life moves, and ironically, sometimes our attempt to hold on to a moment prevents us from fully enjoying it. We're already afraid of losing something that hasn't even ended. Have you ever been on a vacation and spent the last day thinking about how much you don't want to go home? You're sitting beside the ocean, the sun is shining, the water is beautiful, you're surrounded by people you love, but instead of being there, your mind is already packing the car. You start thinking, tomorrow at this time we'll be driving home, and suddenly you've emotionally left before you physically left. The moment is still happening, but you're missing it because you're grieving its ending. That's what we want to change. There's an old pattern many of us fall into. We allow tomorrow to steal today. Tomorrow's responsibilities steal today's peace. Tomorrow's endings steal today's enjoyment. Tomorrow's uncertainty steals today's gratitude. We tell ourselves vacation is almost over. Summer is almost over. The kids will be leaving soon. The project is almost finished. Things are going to change. And all of that may be true. But there's another truth. You're still here. Today hasn't ended yet. The season hasn't completely passed. The moment still belongs to you. We spend so much of life anticipating what comes next that we sometimes forget to experience what's happening now. People often talk about being present as though it should happen naturally. Presence is a skill. In our current world, it may be a skill we need to deliberately practice. Our phones constantly invite us somewhere else. We're having dinner with someone while reading about strangers. We're watching our children's events while answering work emails. We're sitting outside on a beautiful evening while scrolling through pictures of others people's lives. We're physically here, but mentally we're everywhere. Then we wonder why life seems to move so quickly. Part of the reason may be that we're not fully experiencing it enough. Think about how different time feels when you're completely engaged. A meaningful conversation, a walk without your phone, sitting beside a campfire, watching a sunset, listening to someone you love. Those moments often feel fuller because your attention is actually there. Presence gives life texture. It turns ordinary time into experienced time. Because your attention matters. Here's an idea that I want you to think about. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you possess. Because whatever receives your attention receives a part of your life. You can earn more money. You can replace possessions. You can sometimes recover opportunities, but the hour you just lived is gone. So where did your attention go? That's a powerful question. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what received me today? Not what did I do? What received your attention today? Was it your family or your work or your worries or your phone, someone else's drama, social media, a meaningful goal, a good conversation? The people sitting directly in front of you? Attention reveals priorities more accurately than intentions. We've talked about this before. We talked about this a lot in the series on social media. What receives our attention is important. We may say that our peace matters, but what do we allow to occupy our mind? Where attention goes, life follows. There's an important aspect that I want to raise up here. Sometimes we photograph the moment instead of living it. Now, there's nothing wrong with pictures. Pictures are wonderful. They help us remember. But you've probably seen this happen. You know, something beautiful is happening and suddenly everyone is trying to capture it. Wait, let me get a picture. Do that again. Stand over there. Smile. And sometimes we become so focused on documenting the moment that we stop experiencing it. We begin thinking about how the moment will look later instead of how it feels now. Again, take the picture, save the memory, but then put the phone away, put the camera away. Look with your eyes, listen with your ears, be there with your feet. Some memories don't need photographic evidence. They need your presence, especially the ordinary memories. You know, when we think about meaningful memories, we often imagine major events. Weddings and graduations and vacations and birthdays and holidays and big celebrations. But when people look back on their lives, they often miss surprisingly ordinary things. Sitting at a kitchen table, hearing someone's voice, Sunday dinner, driving children to practice, morning coffees with your spouse, walking the dog, sitting on the porch, a parent's laugh, a child's bedtime routine. Things that once felt completely ordinary become precious because they don't last forever. That's a reminder. Don't wait until something becomes a memory before recognizing that it matters. Maybe the moment you're living right now isn't exciting, but one day you'll miss something about it. You'll miss the noise, the routine, the people, the place, the version of yourself who exists here. You don't need to become sentimental about every second, but you can become more attentive. Because the goal isn't to freeze life. Sometimes we think happiness means getting life arranged perfectly and then keeping it there. Getting the right job, finding the right person, buying the right house, reaching the right financial level, getting healthy, getting the children settled, then somehow hold everything in place. But life doesn't work like that. Even when everything is good, things continue to change. People grow, bodies age, careers evolve, children leave home, neighborhoods change, relationships deepen and change, new people arrive, others leave. Life is movement. The goal can't be to stop change. The better goal is to become someone who can remain grounded while life changes around you. Someone who can appreciate a season without needing to possess it. Someone who can say, this is good, without adding, so it must never change. You see, enjoyment and ownership are different. There's a subtle difference between enjoying something and trying to possess it. You can enjoy a sunset. You can't own it. You can enjoy summer. You can't keep it. You can love people, but you cannot control every decision they make. You can enjoy a chapter of life, but you cannot force it to remain open forever. This is where acceptance becomes important. Acceptance isn't passive. It doesn't mean we don't care. It means we stop fighting reality simply because reality is changing. And that can free us to enjoy things more deeply. Instead of saying, I need this to last forever, we can say, I'm grateful this is here now. That's a different relationship with life. And it helps us to get over the fear of losing things, which steals the joy of having it. Sometimes something wonderful enters our life, and instead of enjoying it, we become afraid of losing it. A relationship goes well. What if something happens? A child is healthy. What if something changes? A business is going well. What if it slows down? Life feels peaceful. And then thinking something bad is probably going to happen. And suddenly, we aren't enjoying what we have. We're rehearsing the pain of losing it. Worry tells us, if I imagine every possible loss, I'll be prepared. But most of the time, we simply experience suffering before anything happens. You don't protect joy by refusing to trust it. Sometimes courage means allowing yourself to enjoy something without demanding a guarantee. And being able to say, this is a good moment. Here's a simple practice. When something good is happening, name it. Quietly say to yourself, this is a good moment. That's it. You're sitting outside on a beautiful evening. This is a good moment. You're laughing with someone you love. This is a good moment. You're eating a meal together. This is a good moment. You're driving home and the sunset is beautiful. This is a good moment. Nothing dramatic has to happen. You're training yourself to notice. And when you notice, stay for a few seconds longer. Don't immediately reach for your phone. Don't immediately move to the next thing. Let yourself experience it. Let yourself savor it. Don't try to cling to it. Savor it. Because there's a difference. Savoring says, I'm going to fully enjoy this while it's here. Clinging says, I need this to stay exactly as it is. Savoring produces gratitude. Clinging produces anxiety. Think about eating something you really enjoy. Savoring means slowing down and enjoying every taste. Clinging would be refusing to finish because you don't want the experience to end. At some point, the meal ends, but its ending doesn't erase its goodness. That's life. A beautiful experience remains beautiful even after it's over. You don't need permanence to create meaning. And something else you need to realize, you're also changing. We talk about the world changing around us. You're changing too. The person who entered summer isn't the exact person listening today. You've experienced things, you've learned things, you've had conversations, you've faced challenges, you've made decisions. Maybe you've changed in ways you haven't even recognized yet. That's another reason we can't store summer. Even if we could recreate the exact circumstance, we wouldn't be the exact same person experiencing them. And that's okay. Growth requires movement. The goal isn't to return endlessly to who we were. The goal is to carry forward what matters while allowing ourselves to become. And it also allows us to stop waiting for the perfect moment. There's another side to presence. Sometimes we don't enjoy life because we're waiting for conditions to become perfect. We'll relax when work is done. We'll celebrate when we reach the goal. We'll enjoy ourselves when we lose weight. We'll travel when everything settles down. We'll spend time together when schedules improve. We'll take time and take care of ourselves when everything else is taken care of. The problem is that perfect conditions rarely arrive. Life is usually a mixture. Good and difficult, beautiful and frustrating, joyful and uncertain. If you're waiting for everything to be resolved before allowing yourself to experience joy, you may wait a very long time. You are allowed to enjoy a beautiful evening, even if there are unresolved problems. You can laugh while carrying responsibilities. You can experience gratitude while still wanting things to change. Life doesn't require a problem-free experience, and joy doesn't require a problem-free life. Stop saying someday to the small joys. Maybe there's things you keep postponing. Someday I'll sit outside more. Someday I'll have people over. Someday I'll take that drive. Someday I'll call that friend. Someday I'll take a day off. Someday I'll start enjoying life more. How about this? How about now? Not everything requires a 5-year plan. Some good things require a Tuesday evening, a phone call, an hour, a chair on the porch, a cup of coffee, a walk. We sometimes imagine that improving our lives require enormous change. Sometimes it requires noticing the life that's already available. So I'm going to give you a presence challenge. Choose one ordinary experience. Nothing spectacular. Maybe dinner, or morning coffee, or a walk, or an evening outside, or a conversation. Time with your children or grandchildren. Deliberately experience it without distractions. Put away your phone. Don't photograph it. Don't post it. Don't multitask. Notice 5 things. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you physically feel? What emotion is present? What are you grateful for in this exact moment? Then quietly tell yourself, I'm here. That's it. You're training attention, and attention changes experience. Another thing about presence. Presence isn't only about places and experiences. It's also about people. We sometimes wait until people are gone to say what they meant to us. Don't wait. Tell people, I enjoyed spending time with you. I'm glad you're in my life. Thank you for what you did. I appreciate you. I love you. That conversation meant something to me. Say it while the relationship is present. Gratitude shouldn't only become eloquent in retrospect. Let people experience your appreciation now, because eventually some seasons end that we wish could continue. And when that happens, we want to let ourselves feel it. You don't want to minimize sadness. You don't have to say, well, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the most honest thing to say is, I'm sad because that mattered to me. And that's okay. Grief is sometimes the price we pay for having loved a season of life. But sadness about an ending doesn't erase the joy that came before it. Both can exist. You can say, I wish I could have experienced that longer. And also say, I'm grateful I had it at all. That's a mature way of holding life's temporary gifts. And look, you don't have to recreate every good memory. Sometimes after a wonderful experience, we want to reproduce it. The same vacation, the same place, the same people, the same traditions, the same expectations. And sometimes it's wonderful again. Other times it isn't. That's okay. A memory doesn't have to be recreated to remain valuable. You can let a beautiful moment belong to its time. That frees you to create new experiences instead of constantly comparing the present to the past. The question isn't, how can I make life exactly like it used to be? The better question may be, what beauty is available now? As we close today, picture one of those beautiful late summer evenings. The air is warm. The sun is beginning to lower. The light has that golden quality that only seems to appear at a certain time of year. Maybe there are people nearby. Maybe you're alone. You know the season is changing. You know there won't be endless evenings like this. And because you know that, you have a choice. You can spend that evening wishing it wouldn't end, or you can look around and say, I'm here. That's presence. Not denying the future, not pretending change isn't coming, simply refusing to abandon today because tomorrow will be different. And maybe that's something we need to practice in every season of life. Your children will grow. Your body will change. People will move. Jobs will change. Homes will change. Relationships will evolve. Seasons will turn. You cannot store any of it, but you can experience it. You can notice it. You can listen. You can laugh. You can love. You can say thank you. You can put down your phone. You can look someone in the eye. You can watch the sunset instead of photographing it. You can recognize an ordinary moment while it is still happening and say, this matters. Don't wait until today becomes yesterday to appreciate it. Don't wait until someone becomes a memory to tell them they matter. Don't wait until the season ends to wish you have been more present. Summer can't be stored. Neither can life. It can only be lived. So live the day you have. Enjoy the people who are here. Receive the good that is available. And when something beautiful happens, don't immediately worry about how long it will last. Just be there. Because you don't honor a beautiful season by trying to make it permanent. You honor it by being fully alive while you're in it. Until next time, keep growing, keep noticing, and remember, you can't keep the season, but you can keep the wisdom it gave you, the love you shared, and the memory of having been fully present while you were there. That's what I got for you for today, my friends. If it's helpful, please share it out there. Put it out there on your social media feeds. If you're listening on one of the listening platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music, follow us. Give us a rating and review. And if you want to reach out to me directly, GraceLifeCoaching.com is the website. At Grace Life Coaching, we want you to be the best you.